So the other night I watched The Zone of Interest. This came out last year in 2023. It's an A24 film directed by Jonathan Glazer. Um, First off, it also stars Sandra Hüller from Anatomy of a Fall. It's which also came out last year, and I think she's nominated for an Oscar for. It's a pretty good film if you haven't seen it. A lot of people have it on their top 10 lists. I don't think it's like to that level, but I still think it's a good film. Anyways, The Zone of Interest is um, it's a good film overall. I liked it more than Anatomy of a Fall because I think it's like a lot more unique than Anatomy of a Fall. Um, it's also like very beautifully shot. There's like a lot of like vibrant colors and interesting sequences. I'm trying to be like a little vague on this because in the simplest terms, this movie is a man about going to work, and you can further describe this as saying like this is a man going to work, and this man is part of the Nazi army, okay, in World War II. Uh, Even further than that, he is the commander at Auschwitz, and he lives next door to Auschwitz, and his family lives with him next door to Auschwitz, and that is essentially what this movie is about. Um, it's I don't know how to describe it, but I think Under the Skin, Jonathan Glazer's last movie, Scarlett Johansson, I think that's like a lot more interesting of a movie and a lot more developed of a movie. Um, but like, there's a lot of stuff that this movie does that's like very interesting, even though it's like hard to watch because it's showing like the opposite, like the quote unquote villain, showing his side of the story. Um, it's like it's a hard watch too because you know like while they like live next door to like Auschwitz, like you never see like them doing like anything like overtly evil. You just like hear gunshots in the background, people screaming in the background. You hear um, stuff like that, and like even like early on like in the movie they're sitting there talking about building gas chambers, and they keep talking about how many loads it can handle, and how big the loads can be, and like they're talking about humans, like, but they like downplay it in this movie, and it's really weird. People keep talking about like the banality of evil. I think this movie's like more than that. There's like an old quote that I heard. I want to say it's from David Chin brought this up on the film cast, if I remember right. But he's sitting there talking about it's like one of the hardest things to do is to show someone being evil in normal circumstances. Uh, and I think this movie like does that very well. Um, but I'd probably give this movie like a 4 stars out of 5. It's a movie that's like sticking with me like a lot longer than like I thought it would. Like while watching it, and I think like it might like overall like become like even like more cemented like in my movie history, like kind of like Beast of No Nation, just because like a lot of shocking like imagery and shocking subject matter of like that movie kind of stuck with me like a lot longer than like a movie of that quality should have stuck with me. But again, like this is kind of like um, but The Hunt that I reviewed earlier this year, where I can't really recommend this movie to everyone, um, but it's like it's good viewing, and for those that can like handle the subject matter and all that stuff. Um, there's like a lot of people politically think that like it's possible that we'd go down like the same road, like even like nowadays, and like that kind of makes it like more necessary in my opinion to like watch this movie, because it's like people kind of forget like the atrocities that happen, and like even now we have some people that like straight up like deny like the atrocities that happened in World War II. So, the movie I watched earlier this year, Bottoms, even makes a joke about that, because one of like the students in the classroom is a Holocaust denier, and Marshawn Lynch goes something like, he's teaching about the Holocaust, and he goes, "The Holocaust, it happened." The kid like raises his hands and he's like, "It happened," like, and, it's like he's like angry at him. He puts his hand down. So like the whole Holocaust denial thing's like, it's almost like transcending like the crazy conspiracy theory, because like more and more people believe it, like kind of like the moon landing, which I believe the moon landing happened. But like when it happened, like shortly after, there's those crazy conspiracy theory people, but now it's like almost like normal for people to think that like the moon landing didn't happen. Like it's, I'm not sure the actual percentages, but it's gotta be like around 20%, just based off people I've talked to. Could be even higher than that, honestly. But anyways, I do want to talk about spoilers. I'm not going to talk about like specific spoilers. Well, I guess I am, but there's a few points that like kind of explain better like why I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 than like a 4.5 out of 5 or even 5 out of 5. I want to talk about those real quick. Just figured, wait a second before I did that, give a disclaimer and everything. But basically, like, this movie is not showing that this person is like a sane person, because slowly over time he's becoming like more and more mentally unstable. And same thing like with his like wife, like they're becoming more and more mentally unstable. There's like a line towards the end of the movie which he basically says along the lines of, I imagine all of them like being gassed, just like the Jewish people or whatever, like killing the whole room of them or something along those lines. And that's not like something like someone like would say, like a normal person would say. And like I think it's just because like he's disassociating himself with the violence that he's causing, and like what the value of a human life, he's disassociating himself with that. But also like like the wife is treating like the housemaids like worse and worse, and refusing to like leave the house because she's like so like weirdly attached to it. And even the children, they're playing, and he locks the one like in the greenhouse, and he's like sitting there making like the hissing noise of the gas chambers. These are not normal behaviors. To give you like a juxtaposition, the mom, the grandma or whatever you want to call her, she's out sunbathing in one scene and smells the burning bodies, the dead bodies, and stops sunbathing, packs up and leaves. Like that's what a normal person would do. It's really weird that she like it took that extent, and not like the gunshots and the screaming and all that stuff, or like the way they're treating people. Like, but at the same time she's like more saying, like she makes like an offhanded comment about like her Jewish neighbor, how they she liked the curtains and they went to bed, and she like lost the bed, and she's like upset about that, but like not upset that she like lost her neighbor, or like it's weird stuff like that. Like so she's still crazy by all means, but she's like slightly less crazy because she maybe snaps into reality like when she like smells the burning bodies. But yeah, this movie, it also hits like very hard, close to home. I have like a lot of Hungarian ancestry, and I'm more than likely Jewish ancestry. If you don't know anything about Jewish Hungarian ancestry, a lot of Hungarian Jews during World War II immigrated to America through Ellis Island, and my ancestry tree kind of ends at that point. Like long story short, my great grandmother, her last name was Stambaugh, um, but her father's name was, it's like Samo, something like that. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but it's a traditional Jewish name, and they know they immigrated, through Ellis Island and through like during that time. So unfortunately, the lineage kind of ends there, as far as my family knows, as far as recorded history. So it kind of hits like really close to home too. Um, they do this thing like towards the end too, like where they go to present day shots of what I'm assuming is like a museum, a dedication to like the victims of Auschwitz and World War II in general. And it's weird because like a lot of people are sitting there talking about how it was very jarring to like, this isn't the final scene of the movie, but it's very close to the final scene. And like, I don't know if it was like a cheap trick, but it hit me, man. Like, just the reality of it. I don't know, like the scale of it, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but again, like I've never been like one to deny that the Holocaust happened or anything like that, but I don't know, it touched me, and like I said, like this is like why, I'd rate the movie a 4 out of 5. Just like have like those few issues with it. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this review. I'm gonna watch Poor Things right after I start editing this and uploading it. So a review of that will be coming. I've been kind of like bad about posting the reviews. Like I'll record them. Sometimes like right after I watch the movie, or like sometimes a couple days later, and then like it'll sit on my computer or sit on my phone, and I'll forget to upload them because I'm doing other things on my computer. I can't like take that bandwidth hit. But yeah, I think Poor Things, Rustin, Nayed, and The Boy and the Heron are really all I have left to watch for the Oscars. I do want to make an Oscars movie too, but I keep saying this, but I think I'm going to be overly critical of the Oscars, even though the Oscars gave me so much joy in the past. But anyways, yeah, I think that's everything I want to talk about. It's my birthday today too, so as other thing, I don't know. I just want to throw that in there. It's one of those things like where I don't know. Some people like to know that, and I'm kind of like in a weird mood because I went disc golfing earlier and burned a lot of calories at a very hilly course and had a lot of food, a lot of caffeine and coffee and whatnot. And yeah, I don't know. Had a good day overall, and I hope Poor Things continues that good day because I really like Yorgos Lanthimos and like Emma Stone. And from my understanding, this movie's kind of like got a lot of dark humor in it. I think it's gonna be like right at my alley. At least I'm hoping. I was a decent fan of Favorite. I love The Lobster. I love Killing of a Sacred Deer. So, anyways, bye.